So feeling good to feel good. Well, we start with our breath. So let's do that now. I don't know if this happened to anyone else when they were growing up, but my mother didn't know about meditation, or at least not that she shared it with me when I was little. And one thing, if I was very upset, it would be, okay, I need you to breathe. I need you to do 3 big breaths for me, right? That helps us regulate. So let's just do that now for fun. So we're just going to take a little moment and breathe. We're breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension. Anytime we're experiencing something that doesn't feel good, this is an opportunity for us. This is not something to be hard on ourselves about. So negative emotion is just guidance, and one could say it's gorgeous guidance. So to get to a place where we're feeling good to feel good, we are taking end results out of the equation. That's the first thing. End results, because everything that we want, we have the power to give it to ourselves. The kingdom of heaven is within. It is the Father's good pleasure to give it to us, as Neville Goddard will take from the Bible. And in that quote, around that quote and around all of that is, we are God within the body trying to attain consciousness. So the 2 gifts are mind and speech. So let's do a little mind and speech exercise using my own life. Last night, I did not do my delicious bedtime routine. Last night, I stayed up with YouTube videos. I was inside the dopamine hamster wheel cycle without recognizing that it wasn't really making me feel good. Sure, I laughed here and there because the videos were good. I love YouTube. I enjoy watching YouTube. So sure, that was all present. But I wasn't doing it for the reason that I was inspired and feeling like I could take their ideas and find a way to make them my own or anything like that. I wasn't appreciating them as artists. They were comedic videos. I was simply just not in a good neutral place. I had allowed some negative thoughts to join other negative thoughts. So I wouldn't say I was really down far on the emotional scale, but I would absolutely say I was hovering somewhere around frustration and overwhelm, because I'm taking yoga teacher training right now, and I'm also taking another course, and I've got some things that I'm trying to make more a part of my daily life, like cooking for myself all the time and living within my means until I have more means is one of my latest mantras. So I let a few things go sideways. Now that's okay, because when we are experiencing negative emotion, we are asking for the improvement. So I can pat myself on the back because I have big desire. So that's important to recognize. When we are feeling negative emotion, to recognize, well, I have big desire, and my emotional guidance system, as Abraham Hicks calls it, is working. Our emotions are signposts. Our emotions, if we're paying attention, will tell us everything we need to know. I wasn't paying attention yesterday evening, right? I let it go in a way that didn't feel good for long enough that I ended up finding the only thing to feel good was rewatching, some of them were a rewatch, that's true, watching comedic YouTube videos. Now, this in itself is not a super bad thing, right? We can appreciate what they're doing. We can enjoy it. But as I said, since it wasn't what I really wanted was to be at my high vibe place that I enjoy most of the time, basking myself into sleep, using the pruning shears of revision, and being satisfied, right? I wasn't coming from a place of being satisfied. So that's something that was going on for me. When we don't fall asleep in the wish fulfilled, we're waking up where we fell asleep, which I was still kind of not in my best frame of mind. I was like, I was disappointed with how I fell asleep the night before. That was no good. Well, big desire. Emotional guidance system is working. I'm creating. I'm just not going with the thing that I've created, right? So I'm aware, which awareness is very good. Without being aware of how we feel, we can't do something about it. So if anything, let's be aware of how we feel. So to get to a more neutral place, let's meditate. Meditation will always help us find that neutral place if we have a consistent practice. And even if you've missed a few days, of course, the habit is strong within us once we've created it. So we can get to that neutral place. Just takes that time to invest in our breathing. To use something like Insight Timer is what I use. I enjoy that because I can go to guided meditation teachers I enjoy, or I can just go to a setup timer with a sound I like behind it, which I like the sound of running water. That pleases me. That helps me get into my meditative state. Great. So then, coming out of meditation and recognizing I still wasn't quite where I wanted to be, it was time to go into more about the power of autosuggestion and using those autosuggestions or affirmations, because if you do it enough times, when you go back to that well, you've created those good feelings already. So you're just going back to a well of created good feelings. So reject the world of appearances, especially if you're looking at something you don't like, and divert your attention and focus somewhere else. This gets a lot easier with practice, because I absolutely, definitely had a hard time doing it, would definitely wallow before doing this work very easily. And once I started doing the work, the wallowing was still happening, but I wouldn't wallow as long. Now, if I can catch it nice and early, I don't wallow at all. But if I'm in a space where I'm thinking I have to be with others at that empathetic level, and then I'm coming down to where they are with something that's going on with them, I'm not remaining in a compassionate place. Compassion is a place where you do have more to offer, because when you're just feeling kind of down in the dumps, well, you talk to someone else who's feeling down in the dumps, sympathy, even empathy, you don't really have a lot to give. You have something to give because, of course, they're like, oh, at least someone else feels not great too. But that doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. So when we want to feel good, it starts with us. It starts with connecting with our inner being. It starts with connecting with the source within. We can all do that, right? Just takes practice. So one shortcut for me is my inner being loves me and I love my inner being. And no matter when I say that, it always feels good. It feels good. And more general thoughts like I was speaking about are, the sun came up today and boy, isn't that nice. And it is shining for all of us to see. It is shining brightly for us to enjoy, for us to be here, to be alive. Depending on where I am on the emotional scale, one thing I do love also is I love where I'm going, because yes, I do. I have great expectations for this future. I have cultivated good feeling expectations for the future. So I love where I'm going because I'm eternal and I know it's coming, right? I know it's coming. I'm eternal. I've asked. It's given. It's just me in the in-between. It's just me in the it is trying to get there. And there's different things that I can do to help myself get there. And I can get there. I can get there. I've gotten there on lots of subjects. So I know where I'm going. I know what I want. Also great information. That's another one you can go to too. I know what I want. That is a gorgeous shortcut. I know what I want. Right. I know what I want. I want this thing. And then why? Well, because it'll be fun, because it's exciting, because it interests me, because it's my purpose, because it feels good to love. So to receive feels good too. So to love and receive love, those things feel good. So these are nice, depending on where you are on the emotional scale and how they feel when you say them, sentences that can help us move up said emotional scale, right? So, oh, I've been here before and I know what to do. Self-soothing. We can soothe ourselves. I've been here before. I know what to do. Oh, I've been here before. I know what to do. Every time something that doesn't feel good happens to us, and even re-happens to us, it is an opportunity to get more clarity and to receive more clarity and to act upon more clarity. And by acting upon more clarity, I mean taking care of our thoughts. Before anything good happens out in the world of appearances, we must give it to ourselves in here. We must imagine it. We must own it. We must practice it. We must fall asleep in the wish fulfilled. At least that's how it works for me and a lot of others. But of course, there's different ways of doing this. There's a lot of declarative language in the spiritual space. And so I'm just one voice. So if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, I totally understand. But if you look at good feeling statements that always feel good to you, when you are in a moment where you are not feeling so good, trot those good feeling statements out and see how they feel. So as I said, or the source within. So my inner being loves me. I love my inner being. The source within loves me. I love the source within. Source loves me. I love source. Those things always feel good to me because I have practiced them feeling good to me. And it feels good to be appreciative. It feels good to be thankful. It feels good to be grateful. So you can find statements like that of your own in life that always feel good when you say them, to go back as a well of these good feeling statements. This will help us feel good to feel good. The other component of feeling good to feel good is we let go of outcomes because we're going to get it. It's illogical that we won't. We've asked, it's given. So if we just don't worry about the outcome, we just throw that portion of it away and we just focus back on the process of it's been given. I know it's unfolding. I know it's coming. I know it's coming because all these other things have come that I've asked for. So this is no different. And the only thing that needs to be different for it to come is me. It's nobody else. No one else needs to be different for me to have this thing, whatever it is. And it's so freeing to go back to owning that and to not blame anyone else or have anger towards someone else for being a way that you would rather they would be, right? And then Neville Goddard. If I see someone who disappointed me, the next day they will not just have disappointed me because with the pernicious of revision, I will have nurtured that into a better feeling place. I will have taken that memory and I will have adjusted it for myself. Now this does take practice. I'm not saying it does not take practice because, as I said, I had the choice to fall asleep when the wish fulfilled, which I have been, I would say 4 out of 7 nights for about 3 months I was very consistent. And then I would say 7 out of 7 nights I was very consistent. And it absolutely delivered results. Okay, so we just have to go back to that again and again and again. And so since I didn't do it last night, instead of feeling hard on myself for not doing it, I just make the commitment again to do it and to do it every night. And make the soft commitment again. And using the power of Avada's suggestion, it gets easier and easier to fall asleep in the wish fulfilled. It just gets easier and easier to fall asleep in the wish fulfilled. Nothing needs to come for me to prove that it works because feeling good is the result. So we feel good to feel good. We carry on that momentum down the hill. We carry on that feeling good by feeling good. So the first thing is to get to the neutral place. Get to a neutral place. We meditate. We find general good feeling statements, right? And the way you know if it feels good or not, if it's general enough or not, is by feeling how it feels in your body. So generally, well, the sun came up today, generally that's at least a neutral feeling statement for you, if not a good feeling statement, because it does feel nice to be on the planet and enjoy ourselves and experience life. And this breathing is such a gift. That's another one I use too. My lungs breathe in and out all night without my help, without my direction. My heart beating every day of my life, every day and night of my life, every day and night of my life is such a gift. Whenever I think that, I just automatically feel better than whatever I was feeling before. So it is about focusing our attention. It is about recognizing how we feel and making a choice to do something about it. And we all can. We absolutely have the power to feel better. It just takes a little practice. And then the momentum of the practice, right? Once we practice, I wasn't, I was frustrated when I went to bed last night. I was not my favorite self. I was a little disconnected from my inner being. I was a little overwhelmed with certain new material I'm learning in this class. Instead of, appreciating the value of it and the fact that it takes a little time to assimilate new information, I just got stuck in overwhelm, which is natural. It happens. But what I can do with that experience is not be hard on myself, make another commitment to pay attention to how I feel and to focus on the thoughts, because if I create it up here, I can have it out here. But if I'm putting too much emphasis on what's out here, then what's up here can't come to fruition. So, feeling good to feel good. Good feeling statements, meditation, and focusing on a better feeling thought from where I am in that moment. So a better feeling thought when I got up was, I slept well. I slept well was a better feeling thought than, I shouldn't have gone to bed the way I went to bed. No, a better feeling thought was, I love where I'm going. I love where I'm going. I've created positive expectations for myself, and I go to that well often. Okay. All right, so I'm feeling better. I talked myself into a feeling better place because I cared about how I felt, and I did something about it. So it's all about caring about how you feel and doing something about it, and then you can feel good to feel good. Thank you.